The future colony of Plymouth, Massachusetts was saved by a single screw. Let me explain. The incident is described in the online article, The Pilgrims' Miserable Journey Aboard the Mayflower, and the book, Mayflower, A Story of Courage, Community, and War, and dramatized in the History Channel documentary Desperate Crossing, and the animated film William Bradford, The First Thanksgiving. After a month of relatively calm seas and smooth sailing, the Mayflower encountered the first of an unrelenting series of North Atlantic storms that buffeted and battered the ship for weeks. The crew was forced on several occasions to lower the sails and let the Mayflower bob helplessly in the towering waves. William Bradford, the future governor of Plymouth Plantation, later wrote, "After we had enjoyed fair winds and weather for a season, we were encountered many times with crosswinds and met with many fierce storms, with which the ship was shroudly shaken and her upworks made very leaky. In sundry these storms the winds were so fierce and the sea so high, as they could not bear a knot of sail, but were forced to hull for divers days together." To lie a hull means you put the helm to leeward, you take down every stitch of canvas, and you surrender the ship to the elements. In 1957, the crew members of the Mayflower II, a replica of the original vessel built in Brixton, England, became the first mariners of the modern era to experience what it was like to ride out a gale in a Jacobean-era ship. Toward the end of the voyage, a storm set in, forcing Captain Allen Villiers to do as Master Jones had done 337 years before. As the motion of the ship in the giant waves became intolerable, he decided he had no option but to lie a hull. The sails were furled, and everything on deck was tied down. Then, with considerable trepidation, Villiers ordered that the helm be secured to leeward. As soon as the ship's bow swung into the wind, her slab-like topsides functioned as a kind of wooden storm sail, magically steadying the ship's motion. Almost perfectly balanced, the Mayflower II sat like a contented duck amid the uproar of the storm. But in 1620, the original Mayflower was not so lucky. A huge wave bursts against the side of the vessel and strains the main beam to the point that it cracks, like a chicken bone, cracks. One of the beams in the midships was bowed and cracked, which put them in some fear that the ship could not be able to perform the voyage. The main beam on the Mayflower, or any ship, would be one of the beams that surrounds the main mast and helps support the mast, ties both sides of the ship together, and gives some strength right in the middle of the ship. If this should go, the whole structural integrity of the ship is in extreme doubt. There was a great iron screw the passengers brought out of Holland, which, it was thought, would raise the beam into its place. It seems to have been a device to raise timber in building a house, and they used this to jack up the main beam, to bring the cracked portion in line. As for the decks and upper works, they would cork them as well as they could. So we committed ourselves to the will of God, and resolved to proceed. The Mayflower is now halfway across the Atlantic. And so the ship carried them to the New World, where their adventures were just beginning. This ends the twisted tale of how the Mayflower Pilgrims saved themselves with a roof-raising screw. Get it? Twisted? Oh well, thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel for new videos every week or two, and see the description below for a list of books, online resources, and films featured in this video.